right. Well, welcome to Christy's Stampin' Spot. If you're watching on the replay, just give me a like. Let me see that you're on. If not, you can comment. Or if you're watching this later on YouTube, I have started now posting my videos on my YouTube channel. So you can find me at Christy's Stampin' Spot, which is exciting. I had my 23-year-old son helps me get that done, which is awesome. So anyway, Sale-A-Bration. So we are in the middle of the new Occasions catalog, which is so super exciting. And in Sale-A-Bration, if you don't know what Sale-A-Bration is, it's our super sale, the best sale that we have all year round. And it's, if you buy $50 worth of product in the US, you can pick one of these awesome items for free. Or they also, if you are like me and find even way more stuff that you want, for $100, if you spend $100, they have a couple of $100 items you can choose as well. And then in the mid-February, they actually released like a couple more new ones for people that have actually gotten everything that's in the book. There's so many awesome things in here. And another awesome thing about Sale-A-Bration is the starter kit. So our starter kit is always our best deal, and that's where you can get $129 worth of product for $99, and you join Stampin' Up! And you get to have the discount, which is awesome. But during celebrations, they always up the ante. And this year, it's $175 worth of product for $99, which is just an insane savings. It's so awesome. And if you pick option 2, it's $129 for the $175, but you get this awesome tote bag. And I'm going to tell you, this tote bag is fabulous. Like, oh my gosh, it is so fantastic. The colors are great, but you can fit all your stuff in here. The trimmer fits so excellently, and then it has all these little pockets that you can trade around. And one of the demonstrators actually got her Big Shot in hers, but I actually have the old doctor bag, which I keep my Big Shot in, but when I travel. But it's an awesome bag, and you can only get that if you join Stampin' Up! And whether you're interested in for a business or just for a hobby to get the discount, you can always join my team, the Stampin' Lovelies. I'd love to have you. Anyway, so, and then there's all these awesome, like I said, if you don't have a catalog and you need a catalog, just leave a comment or PM me and I will get one to you. This stuff is so awesome. Like, I cannot wait to use my tea framelits, the Team Time framelits. It corresponds with the Tea Together stamp set that's in the Occasions catalog, and my sister has a thing for tea. Like, she loves tea. I cannot wait to make her some cards with that. So anyway, so other exciting things, because it is the new year, I did start off my loyalty rewards for my customers. So if you go onto my website, Christy'sStampin'Spot.com, you can see that on there, where you can get special extra freebies from me. And of course, I added a new printable for the Occasions catalog for a wish list with a few of the items where you can find them that are my favorite in the catalog, which is really hard to whittle down because there's so many awesome stuff. And then of course, with the new Occasions catalog, we are going to clean stamps. So I think I've said it before and you guys have probably heard, but we're transitioning away from the wood. Only our background stamps for the next year will be able to be mounted on wood, that you can buy the wood option. But instead of clear mount, they're going to the cling. And the only difference between the clear mount stamps and the cling stamps is the sticker. And the sticker is phenomenal. It really sticks. I think I posted a couple of the videos, but the sticker is the same as, it goes on exactly the same as your old stickers, but they really stick. So you can't, once you've positioned and put your sticker on, you can't take it off because it will tear the foam. But it's super awesome, sticky. It's fantastic. It's really awesome. We're really excited. And then when you get your cling stamps, make sure you save your sticker sheets, the new cling sheets, because you can use those to transform your old clear mount stamps to cling mount by adding a little cling to them, so get those to stick. So that's super exciting. And oh my goodness, I did a friend of mine, her husband is in the hospital, and I was driving up with her. She was telling me about this new bazaar, and that I should totally do the craft fair, and I took the plunge and actually did do the application. And so in March, I'm going to do my very first, the end of March, my first craft fair right before on stage, which is exciting. So anyway, so that's all that's going on with me. So let's get to the card. So in the Celebrations catalog, this is the Hello Cupcake, which is so super cute. It's such an awesome, and it's a photopolymer set, 10 stamps. But one of the things that makes our catalog so awesome is it's also idea catalog, right? So you can get some great ideas of stuff to make with the stamps. So you see this bag. So I really like the fact that they used this dynamic folder, embossing folder, and I set it down, and it is our lovely Floral dynamic embossing folder. And so they used it and then put the cupcake on the back. So I thought I would try to make this card. So this is the inspiration for the card that we're going to make today. So at first, because it looked like they had used the embossing folder twice, so I tried to do both the images on the Blushing Bride twice. But so instead, I didn't really like it. It was a little bit too busy, I thought. And I added another piece of vellum and used the vellum, the leaf punch to cut out some more vellum and add some more of this gorgeous organdy ribbon, which is also one of the Celebrations. Look at how gorgeous. Goes with that, the gingham gala packs of paper. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love all those colors. But I love Highland Heather. I'm just in love with it. So then after, this is the first one, my first try, but this is the second try. After I've tweaked it to what I really liked it, I added some silver thread. I only used the image once on the background, and then I went ahead and did use those gorgeous framelits. So we have in the New Occasions catalog, there is a set called Well Written and Well Said, and the Well Written are actually a set of 24 framelits, which is a huge amount of framelits. Huge, but they're really a lovely size. And so we're going to actually use the U today. I'm going to cut out the U, and that's what I did right here for that. And then the Celebrate is actually from the Cupcake set. So this is the set we're going to do. So let me go ahead and get crafting. Awesome. Let me move all my stuff out of the way. Okay. And this is the one that I'm using, so I'll put this one back. And, okay, so first thing, I forgot to write my cards measurements down, but they'll be on my blog later on today. And I also tried to post it in the video description, but this is like a standard Whisper White cardstock, 8.5 by 11 by 5.5, and then scored and folded at 4 1/4. And then, so I just need my lovely bone folder, just like that. And then I'm going to use a piece of Highland Heather for my first layer. And then this is at, I'm pretty sure it's at 5 3/8. I have this on here, but I don't think it has the same. It's like 5 3/8 by 4 1/4. So it's just a quarter down so that it layers very nice onto my card base, just like that. Okay, and then I use my Blushing Bride piece. I cut it down to, actually, I think it's not Blushing Bride, it's Powder Pink. They're so super close in colors. The Blushing Bride's a little grayer. This is the Powder Pink. And anyway, the Powder Pink is, I cut it at 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. And as I'm looking at my lovely workspace, I realize I forgot my ink. So I'm going to rush over here, grab my powder pink. I need Powder Pink, Highland Heather, and I think that's it. Oh no, crumb cake. And crumb cake for my bottom. Okay. You can hear the swivel of my little roundy round thing. Okay. Muy bien. Usually I have this stuff all set up, but as it's much earlier than usual, and I was not at all prepared. as prepared as I like to usually be. Okay, so this is an awesome, the Hello Cupcake is a fantastic set. The images are just fabulous. Just fabulous. I love them. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and use, I think this is the C block. Does it say on there? Yep, my C block. And, okay, so first off, when I did my powder pink in my embossing folder, I actually put it so that it was, let's see if you can see it better on with the purple when I have it done. I actually made sure that when I embossed it, I didn't pull it all the way through, right? So that the image is centered and at the top of my cardstock. So I already cut my paper down to size, and then I put the, when I run it through the Big Shot, I made sure that there's like the empty space on the bottom, so that most of the embossed image is at the top, right? So that's how I got that. And then, and of course, again, this is a dynamic, so you only need one plate, not two. And it's so awesome. And if you have trouble with it not getting a very lovely, crisp emboss, which I don't seem to have a problem with, but if you want to, you can always like lightly spritz your paper with water, and that'll help it get an even more crisp embossed image. Okay, so then we're going to layer those on just like that. So now I'm going to use the stamping. Okay, so I just took another piece of scrap Whisper White, and I'm going to actually fussy cut these out, which we haven't done a lot of fussy cutting on. I love fussy cutting. And some people absolutely hate it, but I love it. So I'm just inking up the bottom of this cupcake. It's like the cupcake papers. That's pretty. I mean, it just really, and then here's my little, oh, so lovely. So lovely. And as you can tell, it just goes, oh my gosh, look at, it's such a nice crisp, it's a nice crisp image. And it has like this lovely swirls in it. It really is nice. Okay, so this cute little stamp, see if you can see it better on here. This is actually the cake piece. So I'm actually going to use this one. I'm going to use and make it the pink. So like if I had added a little bit of food coloring to my cake mix, I'm going to use the powder pink. So I actually did it a couple of ways for the fussy cutting, where I cut out each individual piece, but I found with the cupcake that it was better to actually stamp the image right on top of the my cupcake liner, instead of fussy cutting it and then taking it out. So if you look, it has these little ridges, and they actually fit right in there. And because it's photopolymer, see that? It just fits right down. Okay, so then I'll just clean it on my chamois. Here's my thing. Okay, and then I'm going to make my icing, and my icing I'm going to make Highland Heather. Isn't that pretty? Such a nice swirl. Although I saw somebody had made a card and made that the poop emoji. We're not. We're making a cupcake. So I like to make sure my ink got really nice and thick on there. And then I'm going to set it above because I am going to fussy cut it out. Okay, clean that off. Okay, now I'm going to make my my sentiment. So now with the sentiment, because I had tried, hi Angie, ooh, from Australia, morning. I'm going to use my Stampin' Right marker. So I love the Stampin' Right markers because they work so well. I think I used it the last time, but I don't know if you guys get the Stampin' Right markers. I love the Stamp a Blends because I love coloring, but and so when I would use, before we had them, I would totally use the blender pen and then the ink refills to color in. But man, I love to use the Stampin' Right markers. They really come in handy when you want to just use a piece of your sentiment. You don't want to use the whole thing because it really helps your sentiments go longer and help with your creative. It's really not that hard. You just have to color it up just like that. Oh my gosh, 4:20 a.m.? Oh, well, yeah, you gotta take your meds. Meds are very important, Angie. And sometimes you have to take them at the same time. My son needs to take, as for his, my 20-year-old who had the medical problem this Monday, he has to take one of his 3 times a day, and it has to be at a specific time. It's for his fibromyalgia. Okay, so there you go. So once you've got it colored in, then I always huff on it. Helps it keep the image really strong, not the image, the ink really nice. And then I just stamp it. Okay, so look, I got a little bit of an under thing. Let me clean it again and I'm going to try it again. I have enough of the white to do it a couple of times. Hopefully it won't be too much. What's funny is when I made the other one, I didn't have any problems at all. It's so easy. Sometimes if you have to really pay attention if the sentiment underneath is really close. And when you're using a light color, it's hard to tell sometimes. So I'm just going to use my finger, make sure there's nothing on there. One last time over the top. Let's see if I can get a good image. Muy bien! Okay, there we go. That time it went. Okay, because I had cut out before on my one, I just went ahead and did the whole image like this. I thought it looked much better with the little U, so I'm going to do that. Okay, alright, so now I just need to fussy cut. Isn't that fun? Do you guys like to fussy cut? Usually you either love to fussy cut or you hate to fussy cut. But our Stampin' Snips are pretty awesome. No, I actually am not using the alcohol markers. So you need to use your Stampin' Blends. Or I mean, not your Stampin' Blends, your Stampin' Write marker. The Stampin' Blends alcohol markers do not go good onto your red rubber or the photopolymer. But the markers are the same ink. So you can actually refill these with the same ink refiller that you do with your classic ink pads. So they are water soluble. So they're okay on your pad, on your stamps, your photopolymer and your red rubber. So you can use your write markers, which is awesome. If you don't have the marker, you can always use like a dauber or a sponge, but the markers usually help you get a little bit more control over how you're coloring in your image. It really is nice too if you're going to do multiple colors on the same image. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, but the blends are gorgeous for coloring. Like, I love them both so much. Okay, so I'm going to actually fussy cut. My first time fussy cutting on camera. So I usually just cut out the image a little bit bigger than I want it, and then you can, and the trick is supposed to be, you're supposed to remember to move the paper, not the scissors a lot. You can use, so I'm actually going to snip off this extra piece, just like that. And I have a little bit of more white than I want right there. So there we go. Bien. Easy peasy. So then I just cut around it so it's a little bit bigger, or a little bit smaller, so I can set that bigger piece. Yeah, you can totally refill the tips. You use a, you can take this tip out and then re-ink it. There's a bunch of YouTube videos on it. I might actually show. It's pretty awesome. And you can refill them, which is fantastic. So they can go much longer, which is nice. But I really like the markers. I know a lot of people are like, should I get one or the other? I'm like, oh, it's so hard to choose. I like them both because they are great for different things. Also, if you like to have, when you're signing your cards, if you want your signature to be the same color, that's what I love about the Stampin' Write markers. You can write your name the same, or your sentiment, or your message in the same ink color as your card. So I think when you fussy cut, the trick is really about moving your paper and not your scissors. I'm not as great at that. especially when I'm trying to show on camera. But it's pretty awesome. Like, I love, love, love fussy cutting. Back in the day, before we had the Big Shot, I like fussy cutted everything. It's awesome. But I do love my Big Shot. There you go. See? It's actually not that hard. Okay, so with my sentiment, I'm also going to just make a big square. Now you can, if you're not really good at cutting straight, you can go ahead and use your trimmer. I'm just gonna go for it. And then I'm going to, so when you make the, when you're making flags like this, it's easy to go up the middle with the snip, and then the side. I'm going to get that as snipped as I like. There we go. Muy bien. Okay. So there's my Celebrate. Now, see, that's super easy. Now we just have to assemble it, which is awesome fun. Okay. So let me get all my mess out of the way. I moved of course I moved my thing out of the way. Okay. So there we go. That's all the stamping. This is super easy. And this is such an adorable set. Like, I absolutely love this set. And it's free. $50 purchase. You can get it for free, which is pretty awesome. Okay, oh, I forgot to cut my vellum. Okay, so one of the fun things to add, vellum is one of those must staples. If you've got a lovely punch, you can add it to just about anything. I just absolutely adore. So I'm just going to use our leaf punch. It's the one that coordinates with the Painted Harvest set. So it's in our current catalog. It's pretty awesome. Great little leaf. And it's one that they used actually in that picture. And then I'm going to use our Starburst punch. Just pop that out there. Super easy, super quick. That's it. 3 punches. Power of 3. Okay, and now we can go ahead and build our card. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to... I actually got out a brand new glue, and it went splat just now on the, luckily that's going to be card. That's going to be covered. So I really do like the glue. It took a little bit for me to get used to using the glue. I was pretty much a snail girl, like I love the snail. But I've been trying to use the glue because I was having some trouble with the different moistures. The snail was like coming off, just terrible. So I'm not really good with the glue though. I seem to tend to make a huge mess. And I still have my eraser from back in the day. I think you can still get them at Joann's or Michael's, the craft stores. They probably of course have it on Amazon. I need to figure out what they are because I make a mess and I need them. And I used to have like a ton of them. Like they used to be everywhere because they were like $2 or $2.50. And so whenever you had like an extra amount you wanted to get, especially during celebrations, to make sure you got your $50, I always had them. You'd always have them. And they're so super easy, lovely to have around everywhere. But that was like, I don't know, 12 years ago. So now I'm like down to this one. So I treat it with such respect. I must have it. Know where it's at all times. I'm terrified I'm going to lose it. Okay. Especially since I'm using the glue so much more. Okay. Here we go. So pretty. I love this Highland Heather. There we go. Muy bien. Okay, so I did, when you glue it down, I did make sure the embossing is at the top. Okay, so now the fun building part. Okay, so I'm going to start with, as you can see, I'm going to start with the Vellum Starburst. It goes on the bottom. So I'm going to just take a glue dot and just get a glue dot on there. And position this where I want it to go. Kind of like how you want it to go. I want it to be a little bit That looks good, just like that. Okay. Muy bien. Okay, and then we had another glue dot for our one little piece, our first vellum leaf. And I actually tucked it underneath. I'm going to tuck it underneath. But I'm tucking it underneath so it's like underneath the bottom edge of the embossed image. So just like that. And then we're going to actually build our cupcake, and I'm going to actually add the our silver thread to the back of the cupcake and then build up. Okay, so for this, I actually will use a bit of snail. So I'll get my snail, and I'm only putting the snail on here for the thread, because I'm going to put the dimensionals on top, which will also help keep the thread in place. Okay, so here we go. So I just like to wrap it around a bunch of times. Yay! Get my catalog snipped out, and then I put my hand on my thing. That's funny. And then you just grab it in the middle. Make sure you tuck that piece in. And then, you know, you're going to set it this way. So I want it to be mostly on this side. So I'm going to twist it and bend it. So most of it's going to be right here on this cupcake, like that. So that it goes on the side where the vellum is. See how that goes? Like that. Okay, then I'm going to put my dimensionals on top. This one actually I need to cut it. That's not really a lot of space. I'm going to cut it. Put one right here. One right here. Now you don't, if you don't do your, if you forget, if you've already put on your dimensionals and you want to, you can always add your thread on, especially if you want a little bit more, a space between your thread and your image. You can always attach them with the dimensionals and then just add a glue dot on top, and that'll help adhere it on there good. Okay, so then I'm just going to stick it on to my vellum how I want it, kind of cattywampus. There we go, just like that. And then, so I want my icing to really, oh, thanks for sharing, Angie. I'm gonna want to pop it up. So with your dimensionals, you can do that. You put on the first layer of dimensional, and then you take it off, and then you just add a second layer of the dimensionals right on top, and that'll give you more of the height. Now it is harder to send these in the mail when it's really poofy, because it will definitely wrinkle our envelope. So you will definitely have to get them hand canceled. See how much height? Is that nice? Then it goes on really lovely. Okay. So then, and look, you can have them like perfectly straight or a little bit off center. It doesn't really matter. You're just going to kind of get it sort of on there. And then how you want to put your cupcake so that it shows the pink, the powder pink of the cupcake. See how that's lovely that is? How it just shows a little bit and it pops up. So awesome. Okay, now let's get to our sentiment. Put our sentiment at the top. Now I just adhered it with some glue. You can use snail or glue dots, actually would work pretty good. The glue really works really well, I found, when you're putting on something on the embossed image. And kind of there's a difference in heights. Oh, hi, Shirley. So you can put that on here. So how do I want that? I think I kind of want it. So I have my cupcake going off a little off center that way. So I'm going to put it just like this. So it's a little bit more off center than the other one. And then I had already cut out my U's. These are so totes adorbs. Like, I love this. These, there's so many. They're so cute, but it's such a great size. Yeah, sometimes in the past, our words have been really bold and big. And so, it's harder to try to fit them onto a card sometimes, if it's not the focal point, right? And, these are a little smaller. Super nice. Okay, so I definitely you should use your adhesive sheets. I actually have some on order. Just because I've been using them with the adhesive sheets. But since I don't have any, I am going to use my glue with my craft silicone mat, which is super awesome. Now I've scared my glue. There we go. And of course, you can always use, again, a dauber or a sponge to adhere your adhesive glue if you don't want to do the dabby like I did. Be very careful. Okay. And then I'm just going to put that on here. So it's barely touching. There we go. And you can, adjust that to how you like. And one of the things with glue is you can do a little shifting. With the glue is much easier with the shifting than with any of the other adhesives. Because the other adhesive, once they're on, it's like a prayer. Although sometimes if you huff on the Sale, I can always get a little bit of the overglue. You can get it to reposition. Okay, so then I'm going to make a bow. Okay, so one of the other awesome things in the Sale-A-Bration is this gorgeous ribbon. I mean, this ribbon is so gorgeous. And these colors are so spring. It's awesome. So I'm going to make a cute little bow. I just need a little bow, though, so I'm going to make it tight. I usually just do it right here on the spool. I don't have one of those fancy bow makers. I should probably get one. But I haven't yet. I just tighten it up. So pretty, and it's so nice and easy to work with. But it's such a pretty colors. Those colors are so nice. There we go. And I, of course, have we used to sell these Cadillac scissors. And I always sandbox it, say, please bring those back. They're so fantastic. These are my don't you dare use paper with scissors. It's just for ribbons. I only use it for ribbons. And don't forget, even sometimes your ribbon scissors, but definitely your snip, especially if you're doing any of the fussy cutting, to clean your scissors. I mean, we have something here in the States called Goo Gone that we can use that'll clean off any kind of adhesive off your scissors. Make sure your scissors gets nice and clean, especially if you trim up your, if you're putting together your stamp sets and you trim your stickers. You can always get a little bit of that adhesive on there. And it's always so much better if you keep those scissors clean. Make a habit of doing that. Okay, and then of course the glue dots. I love the glue dots. So I'm just going to add a couple glue dots to the back of this bow. Oh my goodness. It undid my bow. The glue dot took the other glue dot and started to unravel my bow. That's funny. Those glue dots were very, very sticky. Look at that. They totally undid my bow, which I've never had happen before. That's funny. It's because I'm doing it live. That's how that always goes. Okay. And then you just put your pretty bow. Oh no! Look at that hootenanny. I forgot my other piece of vellum. Here it is. Okay, so I'm going to, oh look, I have a little bit. I can kind of, oh yeah, I can totally stick it under there. Okay, so give me glue dot. I forgot my other leaf. I was so intent on my bow. I forgot the other leaf. Okay, so I'm just bending it a little bit. Don't do too much so you distort your card. But it should be able to get it to kind of slide. It's a little bit harder to slide the vellum under when you put a glue dot on there because it wants to stick to everything. There you go. There it is. Perfect, perfect. Alright, salvaged it. Okay, and then you put your, I was like, I usually put it on the vellum. Where's the vellum? Oops, I forgot the vellum. And I unraveled my bow a little bit. Those sticky glue dots. There we go. So you just want to make sure when you put your bow on, you don't cover up your sentiment too much. And then, of course, you can always trim your bow up a little bit. I'm going to trim it just a little bit more so that it's not on there. Okay, muy bien. Awesome! There we go. Quick fix, quick fix. Okay, and then, oh my gosh, these gingham, the gingham gala, these adhesive sequins are so adorable. So they have these little flowers. I was using the actual sequence ones. They're super cute. So I'm going to add those. Here we go. Just add some randomly onto my card. And put this one down here next to. Now I've also noticed that I forgot to stamp my flowers. Tragedy. Okay, so I have an extra piece. I was like, why do I have so much extra? Because I forgot to do my flowers. Okay, so in this adorable set, they have like this little, it's like a little heart pick that you can put onto your cupcake, or these two little flowers. So that one's super tiny, but I'm going to use this big one right here. And right here like this. It's such a nice one. And what's really fun about this set is that it's very, it has kind of like a watercolor. It's kind of like, it's not like messy, but it's not like crisp, perfect crisp. It's really a pretty kind of like, it's got like a swirliness to it. Okay, so do everything's in threes. So let me get three. Let me move my silicone mat out of the way for now. And there we go. I can't believe I totally forgot to cut those. Okay, and then I'm just going to take my, like I said, you just take your scissors, make them smaller. I just cut it down and cut it down, and then you're supposed to move the paper, but not the scissors. You can use, and depending on how much a white background you like. We have some really cute little baby punches you could use, probably. A circle punch, if you don't like to fussy cut. I love fussy cutting. Like I said, before the big shot, which I can still remember before the big shot, I fussy cutted everything. Loved it. Although I was much younger then too, my eyesight was better. But still. Now I don't get to do it as much because we have those awesome framelits. Stampin' Up's so good about getting us fantastic framelits. Or punches that match. So we have some really great punches too. The Varied Vases punch. Super awesome. I have that new set coming and I can't wait to play with it. We might have that card next week. Okay, there's two. And one last one. You should do things in threes. They say you should always do it in threes. I agree. Usually it does look more pleasing to the eye to add it in threes. So you guys are watching me to see if I'm actually moving my scissors. I never really paid attention to how I fussy cut. Okay, so the problem with fussy cutting is there is a bit of a mess, I would have to say. And when you're doing small things, you want to make sure you don't swish your image that you're wanting to keep and making it go into the bin. Okay, so I just use glue dots. Glue dots are awesome. Again, even though I was having trouble with it, these ones are wanting to stick. Okay, and I'm just going to put this one up here by the bow. I don't want to put it too close to my... There we go. You don't want it to cover up too much of your sentiment. And then I put one on the cupcake. Right there up center. And then the last one right here. Oh, I think what I did with this other one is I put it on a mini. You can put it on a mini, but I think it's already got enough height. I wanted to kind of hide it. Okay, and then nothing is fixed without Winkostella. Again, I'm going to need to get more. I use so much Winkostella on everything. I love it. So you just brush it onto your flower just to give it a little extra sparkle, which is always lovely. Oh, hi, Karen. So she's on. Hope she's feeling better today. She was on. She did her live last night. It's nice to see her. So just add a little bit of that Winkostella, and muy bien. That's it. I don't think I've forgotten any elements. Let's check. See? You can tuck that underneath the bow. Muy bien. It's pretty close. Pretty close. And of course, you can bring it inside. Just go ahead and stamp your image on the inside or on the back, which is what I usually do. But it's crazy today, is I have 5 more things after this. So I'm not going to go ahead and stamp that. But don't forget to neglect that your inside and your outside. Those are super cute. So like I said, I don't know how you guys create. I almost always do like one and then tweak it a bit. And I got that inspiration from this adorable bag. See, they use that bag. And this is in the Celebrations catalog, which we can now show you, which is exciting. But see how it looks like they used 2 different images. They did it twice. I thought it was just too busy on the card. And then this is like a cute little baby one. But I did mine in the purple because I love the purple. Although we have the orange. I actually used the orange for my, I'm in a training program with Kylie, Gigi, and I used this our gorgeous Grapefruit Grove foil. And I wanted it to be, instead of like poofy, the tuft, I did it the other way so that the image is a little on the inside. So it looks a little more like a harlequin stamp. And added this is the gorgeous Grapefruit Grove and these butterflies from the Botanical Butterfly DSP, which is just awesome. Like, it's so awesome. I love that DSP. That's one of those ones I wish we could have all the time. But anyway, isn't that pretty? This is the Grapefruit Grove and Lovely Lipstick Foil that's in the Celebrations catalog. You get like 8 sheets, which is an awesome deal, especially since you get it for free. But it is so fantastic. And as you can see, like, just adding it just adds such an intense look. Like, it's super wow, which is so awesome. But anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed my card. That's the other card, one that we made today. Woohoo! And if you liked my video, please like it and share it. Thank you, Angie. And if you're on YouTube, I hope you subscribe, as I will be posting more tutorials and my Facebook Live replays onto my YouTube channel. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. And like I said, if you need a catalog, just put it in the comments, and I will get it to you. So you guys have a great time. Bye.